And Jacob went out from Beersheba and went toward Haran. Jacob continued his journey to Haran, but he was afraid for his safety, knowing his brother Esau was filled with anger. And he lighted upon a certain place and tarried there all night because the sun was set. And he took of the stones of that place and put them for his pillows and lay down in that place to sleep. And he dreamed, and behold, a ladder set up on the earth, and the top of it reached to heaven. And behold, the angels of God ascending and descending on it. And behold, the Lord stood above it and said,
I am the Lord, the God of Abraham, your father, and the God of Isaac. The land where you're lying, I'll give it to you and your descendants. Your descendants will be as countless as the dust of the earth, and you'll spread out to the west, east, north, and south. All the families of the earth will be blessed through you and your descendants. I am with you and will protect you wherever you go. I'll bring you back to this land. I won't leave you until I've fulfilled my promise.
And Jacob awaked out of his sleep.
The Lord was in this place, and I didn't even know it. This place is incredible. It's the house of God, and it's the very gate of heaven.
And Jacob rose up early in the morning and took the stone that he had put for his pillows and set it up for a pillar and poured oil upon the top of it. And he called the name of that place Bethel, but the name of that city was called Luz at the first. And Jacob vowed a vow, saying,
If God will be with me, protect me on this journey, and give me food to eat, and clothes to wear, and I return safely to my father's house, then the Lord will be my God. And this stone I've set up will be a holy place. Of everything God gives me, I'll give 1/10 back.
And Jacob went on his journey, and came unto the land of the people of the east. And behold, a well in the field, and, lo, there were 3 flocks of sheep lying by it. For out of that well they watered the flocks, and a great stone was upon the well's mouth. And thither were all the flocks gathered, and they rolled the stone from the well's mouth, and they watered the sheep. And put the stone again upon the well's mouth in his place. And Jacob said unto them,
Friends, where are you from?
We're from Haran.
Do you know Laban, the son of Nahor?
Yes, we know him. And look, here comes his daughter Rachel with the sheep.
And while he yet spoke with them, Rachel came with her father's sheep, for she kept them. And it came to pass, when Jacob saw Rachel, the daughter of Laban, his mother's brother, and the sheep of Laban, his mother's brother, that Jacob went near and rolled the stone from the well's mouth and watered the flock of Laban, his mother's brother. And Jacob kissed Rachel and lifted up his voice and wept. And Jacob told Rachel that he was her father's nephew and that he was Rebekah's son, and she ran and told her father. And it came to pass, when Laban heard the tidings of Jacob his sister's son, that he ran to meet him and embraced him and kissed him and brought him to his house. And he told Laban all these things. And Laban said to him,
You are my family. Please stay with us.
And he abode with him the space of a month. And Laban said unto Jacob,
Since you're family, you shouldn't work for free. Tell me, what would you like as payment?
And Laban had 2 daughters. The name of the elder was Leah, and the name of the younger was Rachel. Leah was tender-eyed, but Rachel was beautiful and well-favored. And Jacob loved Rachel and said,
I will work for you 7 years for Rachel, your younger daughter.
Laban said,
I'd rather give her to you than to another man. Please stay with me.
And Jacob served 7 years for Rachel, and they seemed unto him but a few days, for the love he had for her. And Jacob said unto Laban,
Give me my wife, for my days are fulfilled, that I may go in unto her.
And Laban gathered together all the men of the place and made a feast. And it came to pass in the evening that he took Leah his daughter and brought her to him. And he went in unto her. And Laban gave unto his daughter Leah Zilpah his maid for a handmaid. And it came to pass that in the morning, behold, it was Leah. And he said to Laban,
What have you done to me, Laban? Didn't I work for you to marry Rachel? Why did you deceive me?
And Laban said,
It's not our custom to give the younger daughter in marriage before the firstborn. Complete the bridal week with Leah, and I'll also give you Rachel, in return for another 7 years of work.
And Jacob did so, and fulfilled her week. And he gave him Rachel his daughter for a wife also. And Laban gave to Rachel his daughter Bilhah, his handmaid, to be her maid. And he went in also unto Rachel. And he loved also Rachel more than Leah, and served with him yet 7 other years. And when the Lord saw that Leah was hated, he opened her womb. But Rachel was barren. And Leah conceived and bore a son, and she called his name Reuben. Over the years, Leah has 4 sons with Jacob, Reuben, Simeon, Levi, and Judah, and ceased bearing. And when Rachel saw that she bore Jacob no children, Rachel envied her sister, and said unto Jacob,
Give me children, or else I'll die.
And Jacob's anger was kindled against Rachel, and he said,
Do I replace the Most High? Am I suddenly the one who have held you from having children?
Behold my maid Bilhah. Go in unto her, and she shall bear upon my knees, that I may also have children by her.
And she gave him Bilhah her handmaid for a wife. And Jacob went in unto her. And Bilhah conceived and bore Jacob a son. And Rachel said,
God hath judged me, and hath also heard my voice, and hath given me a son.
Therefore she called his name Dan, that is, judging. And Bilhah, Rachel's maid, conceived again and bore Jacob a second son. And Rachel said,
With great wrestlings have I wrestled with my sister, and I have prevailed.
And she called his name Naphtali, that is, my wrestling. When Leah saw that she had ceased bearing, she took Zilpah her maid, and gave her to Jacob for a wife. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bore Jacob a son. And Leah said,
A troop cometh.
And she called his name Gad, that is, a troop or company. And Zilpah, Leah's maid, bore Jacob a second son. And Leah said,
Happy am I, for the daughters will call me blessed.
Years later, Jacob senses that it's time to return to Canaan. He gathers his family and flocks and quietly leaves Laban's home. Rachel secretly takes her father's idols, hiding them among their belongings. Days later, Laban realizes Jacob is gone. Furious, he gathers his men and catches up with Jacob on Mount Gilead.
What have you done, Jacob? You left secretly, taking away my daughters as if they were captives. And why did you steal my gods?
If anyone among us has your gods, they won't live. Go ahead and search.
Laban searches but doesn't find the idols. Eventually, they agree to make a peace pact, setting up a heap of stones as a symbol.
This heap of stones will be a witness between us today.
They share a meal by the stones, marking the end of their conflict. Esau is now close by, his anger still evident, and Jacob sent messengers before him to Esau, his brother, unto the land of Seir, the country of Edom, and he commanded them, saying,
Thus shall ye speak unto my lord Esau. Thy servant Jacob says this, I have sojourned with Laban, and stayed there until now. And I have animals, men servants, and women servants. And I have sent to tell my lord, that I may find grace in thy sight.
And the messengers returned to Jacob, saying,
We came to thy brother Esau, and also he cometh to meet thee, and 400 men with him.
Then Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that was with him, and the flocks and herds and the camels, into 2 bands. And Jacob said,
If Esau come to the one company, and smite it, then the other company which is left shall escape.
And he went to pray and said,
O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, the Lord which saidst unto me, Return unto thy country and to thy kindred, and I will deal well with thee. I am not worthy of the least of all the mercies, and of all the truth which thou hast showed unto thy servant. For with my staff I passed over this Jordan, and now I am become 2 bands. Deliver me, I pray thee, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau. For I fear him, lest he will come and smite me, and the mother with the children. And thou saidst, I will surely do thee good, and make thy seed as the sand of the sea, which cannot be numbered for multitude.
And he lodged there that same night, and took of that which came to his hand a present for Esau his brother. And he delivered them into the hand of his servants. Every drove by themselves. And said unto his servants,
Pass over before me, and put a space betwixt drove and drove. When Esau my brother meeteth thee, and asketh thee, saying, Whose art thou, and whither goest thou, and whose are these before thee? Then thou shalt say, They be thy servant Jacob's. It is a present sent unto my lord Esau. And behold, also he is behind us. On this manner shall ye speak unto Esau when ye find him. And say ye moreover, Behold, thy servant Jacob is behind us. I will appease him with the present that goeth before me, and afterward I will see his face. Peradventure he will accept of me.
And he rose up that night, and took his 2 wives, and his 2 women servants, and his sons, and passed over the ford Jabbok. And he took them, and sent them over the brook, and sent over that he had. And Jacob was left alone, and there a man wrestled with him until the breaking of the day. And when he saw that he could not prevail against him, he touched the hollow of Jacob's thigh. And the hollow of Jacob's thigh was put out of joint as he wrestled with him.
Let me go, for the day is breaking.
I will not let you go unless you bless me.
What is your name?
Jacob.
Your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel, because as a prince you have fought with God and with men, and you have prevailed.
Please, tell me your name.
Why do you ask my name?
I will call this place Peniel, for I have seen God face to face, and my life has been spared.
And Jacob lifted up his eyes, and looked, and behold, Esau came, and with him 400 men. And he divided the children unto Leah, and unto Rachel, and unto the 2 handmaids. And he put the handmaids and their children foremost, and Leah and her children after, and Rachel and Joseph hindermost. And he passed over before them, and bowed himself to the ground 7 times, until he came near to his brother. And Esau ran to meet him, and embraced him, and fell on his neck and kissed him, and they wept. And he lifted up his eyes, and saw the women and the children, and said,
My brother, who are those with thee?
The children which God hath graciously given thy servant.
Then the handmaidens came near, they and their children, and they bowed themselves. And Leah also with her children came near, and bowed themselves. Esau said,
What meanest thou by all this drove which I met?
These are to find grace in the sight of my Lord.
I have enough, my brother. Keep that thou hast unto thyself.
Nay, I pray thee, if now I have found grace in thy sight, then receive my present at my hand. For therefore I have seen thy face, as though I had seen the face of God, and thou was pleased with me. Because God hath dealt graciously with me, take, I pray thee, my blessing that is brought to thee, and because I have enough.
And he urged him, and he took it.
Let us take our journey, and let us go, and I will go before thee.
My Lord knoweth that the children are tender, and the flocks and herds with young are with me. And if men should overdrive them one day, all the flock will die. Let my Lord, I pray thee, pass over before his servant, and I will lead on softly, according as the cattle that goeth before me, and the children be able to endure, until I come unto my Lord, unto Seir.
Let me now leave with thee some of the folk that are with me. What needeth it? Let me find grace in the sight of my Lord.
So Esau returned that day on his way unto Seir. And Jacob journeyed to Succoth, and built him an house, and made booths for his cattle. Therefore the name of the place is called Succoth. And Jacob came to Shalem, a city of Shechem, which is in the land of Canaan, when he came from Paddan Aram, and pitched his tent before the city. And he bought a parcel of a field, where he had spread his tent, for 100 pieces of money. And he erected there an altar, and called it El Elohe Israel. That's the end.
The scroll.